না সমস্যা নাই ওই যে
know-how on what we're expected to see in our next matchup. Now, things are starting to heat up because we are just about ready to jump into Kalahari, but we're not quite there.
Welcome to the temperature check here with your boys Mustachio and Husky. We know you guys have been waiting for this for quite a little bit. Husky, give us a lowdown of what happened yesterday, man.
We got to start with day one of the Free Fire at EWC 2025. Team Falcons, they brought on the back 2 Booyahs out of 6 rounds back to the Falcons' nest before teams like Virtus Pro, Vitality, EVOS, and Pain Gaming bring the back home for themselves. But there are also other teams that cooked up a full course meal. Hotshot eSports from Pakistan, Red Hawks from Bangladesh. They also tried to complete their service, but unfortunately, Red Hawks dropped the plate at the last minute, but Hotshot eSports got a 5-star service. Certain teams struggled though on day number 1. For example, Vision System and Alpha 34. They tried to get in the kitchen, but they burned down the entire establishment instead. Hopefully, they can recover.
When they told me it was a temperature check, I expected the teams in Group B to start off this day hot, but it is Group C kicking off stuff here absolutely hot. In just game number 1, Buriram United Esports hit 30% of whatever Falcons took in the whole of their 6 games, but unfortunately they flunked out in game number 2. It's all right because we need to give way for the rest of them as well. We've been waiting for the Brazilians to wake up for quite a while now, and the Lost Boys ain't lost anymore. They found their way to the final circle. They found their way to a booyah as well. But you know what's the most surprising thing here? Hotshot. They are still keeping up, Husky.
Last year, we talked about Hotshot having an opportunity to qualify. They finished 15th place in the knockout stage, but this year is looking pretty good, getting closer and closer for that dream playoffs run for the Pakistani team. But I gotta say, Lost, they come into this having players from last year finishing in 4th place in EWC 2024. The Brazilian teams, they are hyping it up. Group C is getting hot.
Yeah, and of course, you guys are obviously looking for Fluxo as well. Fluxo, as always, I think nobody needs to be worried about Fluxo being hot because they've always remained chill. That's exactly what the Brazilians are made of. Absolute ice cold stuff in their veins. They're hanging around the mid-tier table at this point of time. Jumping up to the top is not what they're looking for. Consistency is key. At the end of the day, we are only looking for the top 12 teams, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be able to get there. But the question is, will Hotshots be able to keep up this momentum for themselves? Tomorrow, will Red Hawks be able to heat themselves up with whatever that's happening here? Because you know what? They were on fire as long as you and I were on the mics, and then the 3 final games, they kind of simmered down a tad bit.
And I have 2 teams that I want to quickly bring up that were actually on fire right off the get-go from Group C. Rainbow 7 and Dragon Esports out of nowhere, taking out teams like EVOS, taking out teams like Vitality, bringing the fight to teams like Buriram United Esports. You cannot get more hot out of the gates like that. Guns blazing and everything on the kitchen sink thrown at the world stage. And this is what we want to see from all the competitors on this main stage.
Absolutely. And of course, that's the wrap up here for the temperature check. We'll be back with you guys maybe later on. But for now, back to the studio you guys go. We'll catch you on the desk later.
Thank you, gentlemen. Welcome back to the panel, folks. We are almost ready to jump into Kalahari, so don't go anywhere. If you have your snacks, or if you don't actually, quickly grab them right now, but make sure you're back in like a couple seconds. Kalahari, that's that next map. It's going to be a pretty hot one because the Indonesians in particular are really eyeing this map. So the question I have today is, are they going to be the targets? Are they going to be the victims of this next round? Because this is public knowledge. It is not a secret that Indonesia typically performs well on Kalahari.
Yeah, I mean, judging from how the drop spot is for RRQ, Refinery is their home. That's their nest, though they're not the Falcons, but that's their nest. Evo's Divine, Sniper, Razia, like that's something that really is also common knowledge. So snipers, they will take the high ground, but again, there's a lot of counters that we've seen from the past, and I think this is something that the other teams can pull out as well.
Yeah, I think what it's really going to boil down to, and I think we even saw this in EWC 2024, right? A lot of Brazilian teams have decided to take the southern side of it, then Twisted Minds now coming in as Virtus Pro. Mammoth is a very key point because the first 50-50 is on that first ring. If it's towards the northern side of that map, suddenly Refinery becomes a more pleasant place to kind of sit around. If it's on that southern side, we do see that a couple of Indonesian teams, especially if contested, are forced off of it, like to rotate to that southern side. Mammoth is a really good cutting edge point to cut them right in half, but also not only to deny them loot, but a good vantage point in case Refinery gets contested as more teams start to come by through mid and late game.
And for the Indonesian teams, knowing that this is probably going to be coming their way, what do you do? Are you the ones to decide you change your drop points? Do you just compete and fight through all of this chaos? Like, what do you do? What's the backup plan when you're the target?
Yeah, I guess like changing your drop points is a little bit too late now because pretty much real estate has already been taken. So it's more of how you get in position onto the shift of the circle, and definitely with the update that we have, like we are seeing a lot of like different shifts. I would say difficult for the other teams to come by and get to the other to inside the next phase that quickly. A lot of teams has been hanging by on the edge, as you keep on pointing out, and a lot of teams, more than half, are struggling to run them through.
I think at this point, the only Indonesian team that needs to be a little bit more worried is definitely going to be EVOS Divine, right? I don't think they naturally want to contest for a Refinery, but if they have an opportunity to eventually get on top of it later in the game, then sure. Vitality is the one I'm most worried for because we've seen it within Southeast Asia. When it's RRQ and Vitality, 80% of the time, RRQ comes out on top.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. It looks like we're ready to jump into Kalahari Survivors. Throwing over to our casters as we get ready for our next matchup.
Incredible stuff coming from the teams today. I mean, starting off the day strong here with 30% of the points collected by Falcons yesterday was already Buriram United, and then following up very, very close on match 2 was lost with 28, only 2 points shy. I have to say, a slower start today shows a more explosive end. What do you think, Edmonds?
I think that is just the beginning of domination from Group C. That is not something that you would like coming in from Group B. And for Kalahari, as said by Daniel Lee, the Indonesian teams are taking this map to be their map to shine. However, yesterday we've seen Team Falcon gets the booyah on this one. EVOS was so close, but sadly no cigar. So coming in on game number 3, teams from Indonesia that I think would actually try to take advantage of this map is Team Onyx Olympus. They are not performing very well in Bermuda. Same goes to Purgatory. I think in Kalahari, this is their time to actually redeem themselves.
Speaking of Onyx, right? I think they had such terrible luck today. You bring your teammate back into the game, immediately eliminated. You try to get away from teams, who are executing toward you. You get shot in the back as well. And honestly, I would love to see a bit more aggression coming in from Onyx. In most situations that they get completely dominated, they were trying to run away or move away from other teams. They don't want to take these early fights, and it has resulted in them getting shot out of the sky. I want to see them receive these fights with fire, show a bit more dominance, and perhaps this is the map that you mentioned. This is a map they're more comfortable on. Perhaps they can do so.
All right, talking about comfortable, it looks like CRM or Core Memory is in a comfortable spot, getting one elimination. And might go for a second one, but nope. Ray gets the hit on towards Kruger. Jump tries to go for a refrag. Only has one glue wall to work with, but he still wants to go. No armor, no helmet, risking it all. Nope, no cigar for Ray as for Jump as well as Ray. 1v2 comes out swinging and happy.
EVOS perhaps have dropped the ball in that first map, but I think in the second map they performed quite, I would say, decently enough to bring them back into this game. And I think this 2 points early as well gives them enough points, at least slowly bring the way up to the top again. They were just, shy a few points, 10 points to be exact from Falcons in the beginning of the day. My question is, and I think what they want to do is to be able to overcome Falcons, last year's defending champions of Free Fire at EWC 2024. Now, into this particular one, yeah, they have dropped themselves a bit more, I would say, toward further away toward confinement. They are pretty much uncontested when it comes to their location. They are free to loot. They are free to prepare themselves for these fights. Now, my question is, as the circle shifts here, when they run into teams, maybe even Core Memory, maybe even DRG, maybe potentially Vitality, are they actually going to keep going aggressively like they did yesterday in the beginning of the day, or are they going to be playing slow at the end of the day yesterday?
We just have to see how would develop in Kalahari. Ladies and gentlemen, if I would like to lend your eyes on towards the right side of our screen, you can see on 15, DRG actually managed to get 3 elimination points. That is towards Team Hotshot. Hotshot was almost eliminated in their bout. I believe it was near Bayfront or somewhere around there. But yeah, 3 points for Dragon. Sadly, was not being observed. I think it would be a good fight, but then again, we still can't get the time. So Dragon's good job for the early game. And looking at RRQ, yeah, we got it. Thank you, replay. I love you guys. So this is the fight where Hotshot got decimated by Dragons at Bayfront, and a very good start here for team from Middle East, North Africa.
Interesting stuff as well. A lot slower than yesterday, that's for sure here. Looking at the map right now is Burm United and Fluxo are just side by side. I am curious to see what's going on to the southern side here. You did see a bit of a skirmish for Vitality as well. One of their members getting one player already fairly early. Loss is also close by as well. Whether or not Loss actually wants to be able to take this early fight should be seen, but I'm not too sure if Vitality is aware that the final member of Hotshots is still very much close by. He's still very much quiet as well. He's trying to make sure he can go and reconvene with his teammates.
They actually know where's Hotshot actually, because they have put bounty.
There we go, that's the fight.
So I believe it was a strategy to go away. But talking about fight, Tash is pointing out that Buriram and Fluxo meet each other. Wasala will be the first casualty in their interaction. So 2 elimination from team Fluxo. And yep, 2 Buriram members has been eliminated for the current time being, but still have a lot of space and time to revive it back. So Fluxo still playing the southern side of the map. In every map that they are playing, very nice rotations as well.
Loss is doing good right now. Loss already, while we were looking at the screen right now, they already got like, what, I think 1 elimination as well. They're just playing very slowly, just collecting these points. And it's not all from like, full 4v4 fights either. And now they have access to this armory. This should really reinforce themselves when it comes to firepower, when it comes to fights as well. I think they have a fairly good idea where the other member of action is. I think they're looking for the hunt as well. And over on somewhere on the map as well, Rasha is going huge with 1 pick off, with Adam getting knocked down already.
Nearby confinement, nearby command post, sorry. Vitality spots a team Onyx. Adam has been eliminated. Now they are actually pushing bullets towards Noki, left alone in a small building. Noki just have to sit quiet. Maybe it puts Noki. Trying to jump hook away from Vitality, but sadly the poll says no.
Yeah.
So another point here for Vitality.
It's unfortunate. I mean, you want to be able to get out quickly, but even then, there's no guarantee that he's going to be able to grapple away safely as well. Because we've seen Vitality in the previous game, and it was ridiculous as they shot the players running away from them. It was just insane. Now, coming to this one, DRG is now on fire. They started the day strong, at least on the first half of that map, and they did pretty decently as well. 3 eliminations already in the bag as we move our sights onto Alpha 34 alongside R7 here. R7 rushing away to safety, running away. They do not want to take this fight, but Games King is not allowing that to happen. You see us, you fight us, and if you show your back to us, you will fall. Steals him away.
3 points here for Rainbow 7. Caught 1 of the members from Team Alpha 34. And Alpha 34 does not want to be in that kind of situation anymore. And this is a short replay. We could see Anas was not spotted by Rigby. Rigby did not check his corners properly. So basically he was invincible. Invincible and invisible at the same time.
What in the plot armor? What the hell? Okay. We take those. Anyways, Hotshot's already very much back in the game as well. Taking that space in confinement already. Now, majority of teams are still trying to make their way to the middle here. Vitality close by. My eyes are toward Vitality, DRG, and Onyx as well as eBoss. They're just side by side right now. They're so close by in that very confined area here, but we're not seeing any shots. So there's this gentleman agreement for now, I believe, that no one shoots, no one falls. And meanwhile, over to the middle side of that map here, I think RRQ are very, very comfortable. That area has high, insane high grounds as well. It's looking good when it comes to long-range fights. And in terms of repositioning as well, it gives them a lot of value. And now the circle hard shifts toward the right side. They're still very much okay.
Yeah, Refinery. As said by our panelist Naptune, Refinery is basically RRQ HQ for Kalahari. They're going to stay there. And again, the best thing about Refinery is that the place is usually in favor of zone number 2 and maybe zone number 3. In some cases, up until the end of the game. So being in Refinery is actually a very good spot. Meanwhile, we're looking at Buriram struggling to actually climb up the hill. Joanna was caught out by Team Rainbow 7. Hearts takes him down with a headshot with the shotgun. And Joanna is now no more. Buriram is now being hunted by Team Rainbow 7. Moshi will be the next target. Games King entered the 10, and Moshi is on the ground, giving the 5th point here for R7. Wasana and also Get High, running for their lives, getting away from this Massacre team. But nah, Hax says no. I'm gonna push and I'm gonna hunt. Hax together with Games King and Soidea and Joker as well. All of them are moving together as a unit. This spots Wasana. They want the members of Buriram. It's gonna be 1v4. Wasana goes down. Now we are left with Get High. But Soidea locking in. Gets a few shots on towards Get High. Buriram might be eliminated here. Joker steps in. Gets a shot with the sniper. AWM. One more. Joker, what are you doing? You're not supposed to do that. Buriram eliminated by Rainbow 7 at 12th place.
Oh my gosh. Buriram United could not do anything at all. They bit more than you can chew here, trying to fight a team that's on the high ground. And the same could be said about Alpha 24 here. As soon as they get down, they put in a bit of chip damage from RRQ toward them as well. And RRQ looking to collapse. They are chasing right now. Not too sure if they are aware that Core Memory is close by here. And Core Memory has done a phenomenal job of just waiting for these weak moments right in the middle of the fight where they're able to just overcome so many teams. And I think RRQ is aware they're just camping inside of one of these tents. They don't want to look to initiate quite yet.
Yeah.
But as we move over to the other side of the map here for Hotshots, this is interesting because just now they were the team that was in trouble. They would be knocked out many, many times, but they are slippery. They're able to bring so many of the members back into the game action because he wasn't seen just now, becoming that invisible man. Technically has given Hotshots a second life in this map.
Again, I would like to emphasize hats off towards Joker playing the unusual play of a sniper. We rarely see a sniper chase someone. Usually you get the rusher to do that, but this guy with the AWM in hand and in all odds again a member of Buriram, Get High, for goodness sake, he could win that clean. Oh my god, anything can happen. This EWC such a special moment for everyone. And yeah, I'm still hyped to see what else could we get here from our EWC 2025. Again, we're still eyeing on Hotshot right now. They spotted a few opposing players, opposing teams. They found Fluxo for a while, but Fluxo said, nah, we're not gonna engage with you because we know that we don't have the capacity or maybe the weapon to properly take you down. So we have to fall back. And with that said, Hotshot continues their rotation, now slowly going to maybe around that 3-road intersection between Command Post and Stone Ridge, and they finally found a compound, found a building that they could stay in and maybe sit down, quiet, and try to re-strategize.
Linz falls here, RQ. Been on a hunt for quite some time. I think they were already marking the players of Alpha 34 for the time being as well. We start to see them get aggressive here on this mini-map, and I think the same could be said about Vitality as we go into this particular area. Vitality right smack dab in the middle. I would love to see where exactly they position themselves here because they're getting shot from 3 different areas. They're sandwiched between 4 teams. In fact, excuse me, But now our eyes onto R7 here. They don't have access to the circle quite yet. It shouldn't be too much of a hassle for them to get in. Now with the 3-1 formation there with Joker just rushing around, Joker could be that first point of contact if something were to happen. As well, so this could spell trouble. Meanwhile, they already spot out the members of DRG, and DRG on this high ground, it's going to be a pain to rotate over here. They immediately react by jumping down. They cannot answer back these shots, but what's more important right now is this positioning. As the zone pushes, as the circle shrinks as well, they need to prioritize where exactly they want to go.
Dragons, they tried to play the elevation game, tried to catch teams coming through command post, but sadly, no one was in their sight. And to add salt to injury, they were shot by Rainbow 7 as well. And they are still being locked in by the Mexican team. So, Dragons, one of the representatives from Middle East and North America, has to find a way to try to avoid or maybe fight Rainbow 7 head on so they could have a safe route to rotate. And it looks like they are up to go through command post, through the inside. A lot of cover here, but surprises can come out from left, right, front, center. So they are risking this. Putting one at the back, splitting to 3-2-1 strategy. C4, Yasir and Simox will be in front. Meanwhile, Yasir will, not Yasir, Remind will stay at the back just in case they could find a long-range shot. And they did on Abai.
That's a disgusting shot if you think about it. Straight out into Abai, knocked down already. Shouldn't be too much of a problem to go for that revive, but Onyx is facing so much pressure right now. There's so many teams coming in from 2 different areas as well. What are you going to do here to be able to get into that circle? Onyx have lost. They need to take this fight to get into that circle. And they have played this elevation game to a T. The problem right now is that they cannot go outside. Their boxes out of the compound. And Lost are happy to accommodate them if they don't want to get out. Because eventually the zone will shift. They have to go out into the open eventually. And that's where Lost is looking. Just wait for them as well here. Waiting for the right time as well.
Yeah, Lost is actually at the advantage here because Team Onyx is basically trapped. In that building, there's only one way in and one way out, unless you want to risk it by using the windows. And talking about windows, you can see that Rawan is actually blocking, forcing Onyx to block the window, trapping them inside. Meanwhile, Dragons and Outside finally interacted. It looks like Dragon lost the fight. And Fluxo racking in kills, taking down Alpha 34.
The underdogs from Brazil not being able to hold on here. Lost is being very patient right now. This northern side fight is hot because the circle shift is good. But now this big rotation happening right now, and RQ is forcing this fight, taking down the killers that be taking down the leaders of this game. RQ just completely collapsed, and RQ showing us why they're so comfortable on this map. Abai falls, Vitality decides to join in on this fight as well, but no problem. RQ still have many bodies to work with because another team is coming into this little area. Fluxo is in the middle of 3 different teams. This is not the best position to be with. The glue wall falling. Their position knocked down. Bobs all alone. Gio cannot be picked up here. And Vitality, Fluxo in trouble as well. But Fluxo cannot hold on, and the same could be said about Core Memory as well. Eliminated already. This fight happening from all around the area, northern side and bottom side, as EVOS Divine look to try and bring down their Indonesian counterparts.
Yeah, bodies are dropping one by one. Teams are ousted one by one as well. Now we're looking at Onyx eyeing on towards Evo that was fighting another team. Alas, has been eliminated on the first place. Meanwhile, Vitality takes down Team EVOS, kicking them out on 4th place. Now we are left Vitality, Lost and Onyx, 2 Indonesia, 1 Brazil. This is the second time Team Lost is in the top 3. And wow, Lost is showing their worth here. However, not much elimination in their bag in this game turnabout. So I'm not so sure will the points matter for them right now. But then again, they need the points to still be on top 12.
Vitality doesn't have a lot of place to work with. The circle is shifting right now, and they are the furthest away. The other 2 teams are saying, you know what, let's have a stalemate right now and try to keep this team at bay. But Vitality, they rally back. They have the high ground on top side of this building here, and this is perfect. Lost understanding this predicament, plays a little bit more close, not allowing them the position position to shoot downwards. And they will jump forward, ignoring the other two teams. Glue wall set down as well. And suddenly they are the ones with the advantage in terms of the circle, in terms of position as well. Onyx is falling. Adam in trouble. Knocked down by Rigby. He's so quick with those shots.
And Lost still boxing in Team Onyx. They cannot go out, and they're gonna continue doing so as the circle is slowly shifting towards command post. Waiting them inside is Team Vitality. Things are not looking good for Lost and Onyx. And look at that here, preventing Lost from making a move. The only way for you to do this is to use the grappling gun, and that is a nice grapple towards the side, forcing Kyung to face on towards command post. Now Vitality pushing back. This is giving room for Onyx Olympus a small bit of window to try and enter the new zone, but now Lost and Vitality, both of these teams is denying entry from Onyx Olympus.
Onyx took too long to leave that building. They were boxed inside for so long, and Lost knew exactly the outcome of that, which means a later rotation. And now Vitality waiting for the right timing, understanding where Lost's position is, the high ground on the top side of that of the area. They cannot go too far away because it gives them a clear view of their heads, and it might just be popped here. But Onyx still holding strong as well. They're not moving quite yet. And a message is set up. No, Vitality is just collapsing onto Lost right now. They rush forward. They shoot as well, but Lost ready to receive them. Instead of rushing forward, they move back. They had a lot of space to work with, so they put down all of their blue walls, but not before Koja does an opening pickoff onto one of the members of Lost. But still, 3 bodies to work with, lots of firepower, and instead hiding themselves inside of these tents.
Lost is looking to try to end the game with a mad kid fight. And now Zairu is attempting to go inside. However, Zairu is actually distracting Team Vitality, giving room for his member to actually enter. And Zairu goes down. This
No way, General!
Opportunity for Lost to go in. General is pushing in. They clear the blue one, but General goes down. Same goes to Rigby, and then it's Lost. Lost in control. Vitality will try to win this. They just need to find the last member from Team Onyx. And he is here. Crowd goes down. And booyah for Team Vitality.
Honestly, it felt like such a desperation play by Lost. They knew they were running out of space and time, and they sent one player up to just catch the members of Vitality off guard. But unfortunately, it felt like they had a disconnect in communication there. Their teammates were not ready to collapse, not ready to trade off him after he rushed up forward here. That breakdown in communication actually costed them that booyah. And unfortunately, and for them as well, they died a little bit too soon compared to Onyx, who was able to survive a bit longer due to the space as well. I have to say, Vitality, this is a great game for them in terms of rotations, in terms of positioning, and in terms of recovery as well.
2 booyahs in the back here for Vitality in EWC 2025 thus far. Taking a very good position on command post, denying entry from Lost, denying entry from Onyx Olympus, and took that counter attack away back towards Team Lost. General comes in, and they were backstabbed by Team Lost. However, they managed to control. Despite the blue walls all collapsing on top of the tents, Team Vitality managed to find a way to take down Team Lost. And once Lost is done, that is the sign that, yep, we're gonna get this booyah. All they need to do is just find Crime MKS. And, well, surprisingly, Crime say, hello, I am here. Please try and take me. And there you go. Crime goes down, and Vitality backs in the booyah. What a nice finisher from the Indonesian team.
You know what's really interesting? The fact of the matter is, I mean, we had a lot of expectations for Buram United. It's 2 maps in a row that this team has already been eliminated fairly early. Could it be day 1 jitters is the question. Could it be, you know, a breakdown in communication, or could it be the execution was just not quite there? They were trying to take this almost very, very high-risk fights, trying to go up those high grounds, trying to challenge R7 in situations where R7 had the most in terms of advantage. They were moving in a 2-2 formation, and many of these last 2 maps as well. They always have 2 players not early, the other 2 members are running for their lives. But in this situation, they need to realize that many teams have started to chase. So in this situation, they really need to rethink how exactly they want to do these executions, how exactly the rotations are going to be happening, and most importantly, they need to really figure out how exactly or how their risk is going to be happening when you go into this big fight. Regardless, after this, we're going to go be going to an interview, but for now, it's going to be looking at the highlights, where I have to say that Vitality started off the game very, very strong.
Yeah, they did. This time around, finally they've proven that Indonesia is really strong on Kalahari. And let's see, what will the representative Vitality say? We are going to go to Carol for some interview with, again, Vitality.
Wow, what amazing day we are watching here at the AWC 2025. So much fire from Free Fire match so far. And of course, we gotta talk with the Lows, the champions for Free Fire World Series Brazil. And I'm here with Rigby, the rusher for the team. Rigby, congratulations on the matches that you guys have played so far. And of course, you have been showing such a beautiful and great dominance. And I would like to know, how does it feel to be showing such an amazing performance here at AWC 2025. Parabéns pela performance de vocês até agora. A gente sabe que é um campeonato de alto nível e eu quero saber como é que vocês estão se sentindo até agora com a performance de vocês. Já fizeram um buia, tem um terceiro lugar aí também, um top 3. Como é que tá sendo até agora a experiência?
Bom, no começo a gente acabou afundando, né? No começo ele deu uma entregada, mas a gente conseguiu resetar e recuperamos muito bem. E é isso, é melhorar, no final a gente continuar a pegar o top 1 ali, e é isso.
Okay, so in the very beginning, for sure, we did some mistakes, but we talked with our coach, with the full team, and we reset our mind, we set a new mindset, and we came back strong. We came back for the Booyahs. Right now, we got just a top 3, but we will come back for more, and for sure, we are going to take the trophy home. And for us to finish our interview, I would like to know the expectation for the rest of the day, because you just got a top 3 in this last match. I know it's been hard. The other teams are really aggressive, but I would like to know the expectations. Quero saber quais são as expectativas de vocês para o resto dos dias, mesmo que as partidas sejam um pouco difíceis, como é que vocês vão se preparar e vão chegar para o resto do dia?
A preparação é sempre pegar o top 3 ali das partidas, com kill ou sem, manter a regularidade, e é isso. É o quê? Esqueci. Alguma coisa. Qual que é a pergunta, né? Continuar amassando, manter ali no top 3 ali das quedas e continuar amassando, só isso mesmo.
For sure, we are going to try to keep inside of the top 3 because we still want to advance to the knockout, to another phase. For sure, we are going to go with as much points that we need, and we're going to get that on point rush. And for now, we are just focused on today's games, and we will get better for tomorrow as well. And that's it. We have finished one more match, and right now we are going to have a quick break, and we will come back with more action here at Free Fire at AWC 2025.
Reach your impossible, Lenovo Legion.
Hey everyone, welcome to day 2 of Free Fire at the eSports World Cup 2025. I'm Yoonso. It's so hot out here. But before we dive into our today's Free Fire actions, I'm going outside to explore the other eSports arena around the boulevard to see what is going on across the tournament. First up, we are at the STC Esports Arena, where League of Legends is in the full swing. And yes, the powerhouse teams like T1 is in the mix. This is going to be an epic showdown! Yay! And right here, the Amazon Esports Arena, home of Dota 2. Fun fact, Dota 2 is known for some of the biggest prize pool in esports, and it's still keeping that legacy alive right here at the EWC 2025. Next up, SNB Esports Arena, where the crowd will be locked into the actions of Mobile Legends Bang Bang. The hype here will be real. And finally, we are back at my home turf, the Kidia Esports Arena, where Free Fire is kicking off its second day. The club championship is in full motions, and there's plenty of excitement ahead. I'm Yonso, and that is your update of Esports World Cup 2025. Let's see how our day 2 gets kicked off. Let's go!
We're so lucky, guys. I think we got the coolest looking stage.
I think we're the only ones that has like an ever-changing, elevated, and also like LEDs that show a countdown on the stage itself.
Yeah, I mean, and just imagine having everyone in there and then seeing that. I felt that especially when the first time we came in, and it was something else. So I would agree with you that is quite different and very good for Free Fire to be there.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I'm really happy to be here. I'm happy to be able to see this like on live. I mean, face to face, you know. So I love it, and I agree with you. I think that's the best arena.
Obviously the best for the best, right? You guys know what's up. Now, speaking of the best, we are still here with some of the best teams here in the world of Free Fire, and we are getting ready for our next matchup, right? Kalahari just concluded. Vitality, they were the ones to get the booyah there, and it was because of I want to say a cascading number of events that really set that victory into motion, because there was one moment, and I think we all agreed here, if that moment didn't work out, they would have actually been eliminated and in third place, and that was Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, if Onyx Olympus just joined in again with loss to take down Team Vitality, then they could have been out of there. So that was just something that, well, as we agreed, Onyx style. So hopefully they can pull away from that.
I suppose, but then I'm going to play devil's advocate here, because if you're in Onyx mind, you're thinking, okay, we help LOS shoot down Vitality, but we're on the second floor and the ring is already moving and LOS is on the outside, so they get first rotation no matter what. We end up almost guaranteeing ourselves to be in second place to begin with, right? So I think they were thinking for the long term of, we need to secure a booyah, and if we're able to do it against LOS, we have better odds against them compared to Vitality.
Yeah, but the thing is, Vitality probably had the best position ultimately, right? So this is when the circle was still moving. They started running. None of them got picked up. They grappled to the roof. It almost feels like LOS and Onyx, they didn't expect that move. They probably thought that they were just going to go for a full-on sprint, you know, to close the gap. But as soon as they got onto the roof, they were safe, basically.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Kalahari really has. The hook gun, the utilization of the hook gun, quite pristine, especially on Team Vitality side. But for the other teams, like they don't use that much. So I guess Team Vitality carrying over, like how we know